What's good, party people? I talked about it in a short. Now let's get to it. So these are my uh thoughts about Halloween Ends, and I swear to goodness, I don't think I've ever seen a more polarizing movie. I mean, this this shit is 2014 John Cena level polarizing. Like my God, and so yeah, I'm not gonna go scene by scene. Like, I'm sure you've seen it by now, but like first thing is first. We gotta talk about it. It's Corey Cunningham, right? And we know the Corey, Archie, Junkyard, Christine. Like we see the connections and stuff that David Gordon Green was going for. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with trying anything new, but I think part of the problem, what everybody is having an issue with, is why would you try something new this far removed from the original kind of patina that was already set? Why would you try something this removed from that for your finale? You know what I mean? If maybe Halloween Kills had been kind of more like this or something, it could have been Halloween Kills, but it's called Kills because Michael has like an accomplice and they're getting separate kills and tag teaming. So now there's literally a whole line of bodies, and that could be why it's called Halloween Kills or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just brainstorming. I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna take the chance, like, and make something super far removed from what everybody is kind of expecting. And that's another thing, is like the trailer. We can clearly tell that what we got in the trailer and the movie is not the same thing. Either the movie is all reshoots and the original footage is what the trailer was comprised of, or there's just stuff that Blumhouse cut out and they're sitting on, which we won't get until the Blu-ray comes out, which I think I saw was like December 27th or something like that. And so it's gonna be on Peacock for another 50 days or something like that. Now, personally, I've watched the movie at least 6, 7 times already, and I am a fan of this movie. Like, I don't have anything against Corey, but part of the problem I do have with the movie, like, well, let me do it like this. Let's go with the stuff that I did like. So I did like Jamie Lee Curtis. It's always great to see Lori, right? Because I am a fan. Um, of course, the soundtrack scores there. I'm still exploring different pieces of it that I like. A lot of people are liking Cool Kid and Junkyard, but let's be honest, Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends don't have nothing that stands out like The Shape Hunts Allison. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about specifically. But it's when Allison first sees him in 2018 after he killed Oscar with the iron bars of the fence. Check it out. Um, you know, I liked the story. Um, the if you want to call it a copycat kind of story, it did seem different. I did see the connection to Christine, which I did like. You know, uh, I liked the cinematography of it. The shots were magnificent. I love, especially some of the eerie shots. There's stuff happening on the corners of the screen that even if you're watching in the theater, you still might not have seen. Like, for instance, I can talk about this now. So when Corey is being attacked by the bullies, which would be what, the second time. This is after he leaves the Halloween party with Allison, because Jeremy's mom is yelling at him about he's a killer and did it on purpose and all this and that. Well, they're bullies. They're supposed to be in band, but they're like bullying him, like, like they clearly have done this before to somebody else. And Corey pulls out the pocket knife, Cat with the drumstick, knocks it out of his hand. They basically jump him, they crush his glasses. I mean, David Gordon Green did his best to be like, hey, Corey's going to be in this movie a lot, so we need to get you invested in him early. You need to be a fan of him because you're going to see him a long time, for the whole duration in this movie, essentially. So you need to be on his side already. And them jumping him like that, come on, man, it's just it's out of pocket. And I think one of the things I was talking about, one of the details, like when they throw him over the bridge, and he goes over the bridge, and right, he hits the ground. And like, oh shit, is he dead? He's laying on the ground, and he's knocked out pretty much. They get in the car and they bone out. Well, you kind of see the hobo guy there in the remains of the hobo camp, which makes me wonder: did Michael kill the other hobos in the hobo camp? And if he did, why did he let that one guy live? Like, I mean, it, we'll get there. But if you go back and look at that scene, Corey's on the ground and you see the camera kind of panning like this. If you look on the right corner of your TV, it's like that fast. You see Michael walking up, and then cut to Corey being drugged into a tunnel or something. And it's like, what the hell is that? So uh then, of course, Corey's awakened by that rap, sounds. He gets up, he starts trying to run out of there, and he's grabbed by the throat by Michael Myers. And let me tell you, that shot of Michael standing there in the shadows with like the cobwebs and stuff right in front of the mask, and it's kind of like shadowed on his face a little bit, and then the camera then is right here on his face with the mask and everything. Let me tell you, that shot is horrifying. Look at that shot in the complete dark. I mean, that shot is horrifying. But that's what I'm talking about. Cinematography was great. And something my friend Aaron pointed out to me is that more often than not, with Michael, his excuse me, something with my eye. More often than not with Michael, you just don't see his eyes. You know what I mean? The blackest eyes and all that, like Dr. Loomis said. But more often than not, when he has the mask on, you don't see his eyes. Somebody else could take the mask off of him, put it on, and you see their eyes instantly. Dr. Sartain, right? In this particular trilogy. But that was the first time I could really say, like, you saw the eyes of Michael Myers. And he's like locked eyes with Corey, and like montage happens, but is it something Corey is seeing? Is it something Michael is seeing? Is that when the darkness is being transferred? I mean, you tell me. I don't know. I haven't figured that one out yet. Um, so I liked still the kind of like threatening, kind of stalking nature that still came from Corey. Um, and but I think cinematography wise, I'm trying to think, is there any scene in particular? The junkyard scene. I love the Lori interacting with Allison, especially that's the only thing that she has now. Like I don't know that one character has literally lost as much as Allison. Her mom, her dad, her boyfriend, her best friends, Dave and Vicky, like all in the same night too. Like, you know, Karen and Ray got did dirty by Michael Myers. You know what I mean? So, like my good friend I Like Scary says, she should have been on some Rambo shit. And anyway, so off of that and on to the issues. Well, you have Jamie Lee Curtis kind of coming up to Corey when she sees him getting bullied at the corner store there, or gas station, I guess it is, and you know, uh, she pulls out the little switchblade, which is the one that he pulled on the bridge, and she's like, "You gonna do it? I'm not gonna do it," and like, slash the tires, cool, right? I like those interactions. I did like how as Corey became more unhinged, Jamie Lee Curtis became more like not only concerned, but then she started to become more mysterious and aware. Like, hey, you know what? Michael probably still out there somewhere. Wounded animal going away to die, but this is Michael Myers. The way she described him in Kills tells you everything that you need to know. Like, he's not just a man. There's something else there, right? So off of that and on to the stuff that I dislike, I tell you, man, I do not care for how fast Allison fell for Corey. I mean, the movie, like the story starts on like October 29th or October 28th, somewhere in there. So you mean to tell me between then and Halloween, she fell in love with him head over heels, ready to throw it all away. Let's burn it down and move out of here on some Nickelback shit like they was opening the episode of Monday Night Raw. It was that quick for you to just give up everything? Like, come on. Come on, DGG. Come on, man. Like, this shit happened too fast for me personally. And the same thing with Corey becoming unhinged. Something I can say, I know this is all over the place. Something I can say that I did like was Corey leading Doug back to Michael. I did like that. I thought that was cool. He's fucking with him at the hobo camp, and Doug stupidly crawls into the sewer. Look, if that's me, you crawled in. Hey, bro, peace. Like, you know, it's on you, bro. You got it, bro. You can have her. I'm gone. I'm not crawling in no sewer. Are you kidding me? I'm not crawling no sewer. I don't know where that shit goes, and I don't know who's in there. And of course, the shape is in there. Think about it. Like go back to that shot where Doug, he's got the flashlight, and you see that face in the wall. Originally, I thought that was something that Corey had kind of put in the wall to remind him, like, hey, Michael Myers is here. But now I don't really know what the hell that was. I think there was something, they were gonna do something different, something more supernatural, and like they just didn't take that out, whatever. But if you go back to that scene when Doug has the flashlight up, he's like, "What the fuck is that?" If you look in, like, in the in the shot of the light radiating out, there's like a little, almost like a crack in the wall there, like a hole. Michael Myers is hiding right there, and he's like balled up like this, but he's hiding. And Doug takes the flashlight and shines right there, doesn't see him. Turns around, that's when he sees Corey standing up there. And then Michael comes out, gets him, And then literally Doug fights back a little bit, and Michael is on the ground like he cannot move. Look, man, Michael is probably the number one horror icon of all time. He put this horror shit on his back and has carried it for the last couple years. I don't want to see Michael Myers like in the fetal position because he got pushed off his feet. Are you kidding me? We just saw this man take out 11 firefighters by himself. Halligan tools, like not bone saws, but saws and of all kind of, like, he stabbed Sandra in the neck with one of them fluorescent light bulbs, and she survived. I don't know how that happened, but the viciousness of this man, creature, person, whatever, the viciousness of him, period. And now he in a position where he on the ground. Corey, get up, get up, get up, get up. Show me how to do it. Show me. He pulled that blade from in between the rocks. Look, if Doug didn't die, your boy was about to have tetanus or something. So Michael starts stabbing him, and it's like he starts convulsing. And I thought maybe like that was him getting like, oh, he's getting his power back. But then I start thinking that doesn't make sense because the hobo said he'd been bringing people in there sporadically and killing them. Well, if he's been doing that, wouldn't he already have his power back? So starting to dawn on me that, maybe the strength is there, but the vessel is weak. I mean, he didn't had his finger shot off. He didn't got shot in the face, beat with frying pans, cut by Karen and Allison. Then you go, and that was just the beginning, Then he got burned up, escaped out of there. Then he had to sit there and fight his way through Haddonfield, avoid getting shot by a Desert Eagle, uh, go through the rest of the town, get all the way back to his house at the Myers house. Then Karen takes his mask, gets his ass absolutely whooped like he was in a Royal Rumble or something. They start prematurely celebrating. He killed all of them motherfuckers. There's a lot of wounds that he got. I mean, he caught 6 right there. Pitchfork to the back. I mean, he's fucked up. Like, he took a lot of damage. He took a lot of damage. So I could understand why he would be this weak. But I guess what I'm saying is don't show us that. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand why he would be that weak because he's in the sewer with open wounds. I mean, where is he gonna, like, did y'all see the Candyman requel? Y'all saw how Anthony started like his whole body just started deteriorating on one side. You know what I mean? Like, it was decaying. Like, it was gross, but like it was untreatable. Like, it couldn't be. He went to the hospital, but it was beyond being fixed at that point. And I think same thing with Michael Myers. I mean, it's not like he was gonna run into the hospital and be like, "Hey, help me! I got gunshot wounds." But I'm saying he's got open wounds that are probably infected by that point. You know what I mean? He's slowly dying, really. So for me though, I think everybody, of course, the junkyard scene stands out. And the reason I didn't say that earlier is because I wanted to point out that later on, Corey goes back to the sewers and, oh, you got something I need. And the nigga just power walks up to Michael Myers, body slams him. Hold on. Jump cut. So I don't have my new laptop yet, so it's not gonna be all pretty and edited. But anyway, because this video is getting long, let me get back into it. I had to check on something. So where was I at? Oh yeah, Corey pimps up, goes in and body slams Michael Myers in front, like dead in the view of the camera. Like, do that shit off screen. You know what I mean? Body slams him like Hulk Hogan did Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3 in 1987. You're just a man in a Halloween mask. Takes his mask, pimps off. Of course, Michael gives us the Undertaker shit, but it's like, am I really scared of him? So Corey dips off, goes to the junkyard where some of the most vicious shit I've ever seen in a Halloween movie takes place. I mean, he ran over Margot. I cannot remember for the life of me what my man's name was with the drumsticks. Drumstick in the eye. Got him up out of here. Ran Margot over. Stacy get beat with this wrench, this monkey wrench. You hear me? And then Ron came out with the gun. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the names of all the bullies, but the main bully, Ron gave him a gun. He lines the gun up because Ron is knelt down talking to Margot, and boom, there's Corey standing there, coveralls, holding the mask in his hand. He got the mask on. Guy's about to shoot. Ron jumps up in front of him. Bow, headshot. Got him out of there. Ron falls. Corey's gone. I mean, this dude, he teleported on some Nightcrawler shit, which made me wonder, did Michael's evil really transfer into Corey? Like, maybe, because it seemed like maybe what we was thinking, maybe the power got transferred to Corey because Michael was like, youth. He could build up my power, and then, I'll turn on him and get it back because I'm Michael Myers. Maybe, I don't know. So, heading to the climax, this is what I really wanted to talk about. Jamie Lee Curtis, or I'm sorry, Lori, she has a big fight with Allison because she basically tells, she has this moment where she tells Corey, like, I don't want you around her no more. Like keep it pushing, And Corey's like, hey, you're the one who introduced us. Like, this is your fault. But she can see that he's becoming unhinged. Allison can't see that. And like literally scratching my head because I don't understand how in 2-3 days time you are that smitten with somebody where you are willing to go do whatever with I just can't, you know what I mean? Oh, before Corey goes to Laurie's house, he goes to the radio station. Boy, the way he did Willie Weeks, man, Shout out to King Karan too. But the way he did him, y'all get the fuck off my property if I had to fuck y'all up. Like, just being a dick for no reason. Like, Corey Cunningham, I thought that was you, you ugly motherfucker. Like, what? Like, why you, like, you acting kind of wild, my G. He came out the booth talking shit, right? Michael ain't gonna play with his food, though. You know what I mean? That's how you knew it wasn't Michael. Because he went in there, he bashed his head, messed him up, man. But then he took his tongue, cut his tongue out, and it's spitting on the record player. My thing is, the citizens of Haddonfield, nobody heard the record skipping like that and thought, something must be wrong with the radio station. Not one person thought that. It even shows Allison cutting the radio off because she hears the record skipping. But nobody went to investigate or nothing like that. So, she got her bags packed. She's ready to dip out. Lori feels like she's about to lose her granddaughter. She got nothing to live for. She calls 911 to report a suicide. Well, she's got the gun, all these pumpkins, and she shoots one of the pumpkins, and Corey opens the door, which this was given away in the trailer because the person that opened the door had all 5 digits when they opened the door. If it was Michael, this is all we would have saw, push the door open, right? Because he lost his ring finger and pinky when he put his hand on the barrel of the shotgun in 2018, right? So, she shoots the pumpkin. Corey opens the door, sees the insides of the pumpkin on the wall. Lori, did you really think I would kill myself? Bow bow! Gave him 2 hot ones to the shoulder. He fell over the banister, hit the ground. You know, she came down. I tried my best to show compassion. Da da da. Corey is laying there though. He's like, you know, if I can't have Allison, then no one can. Takes the butcher knife, stabs himself right in the neck. Falls backward. You son of a bitch. Lori pulls the knife out right as Allison walks in. Allison walks in. And this is what I'm saying. She's so smitten with Corey that a bloody butcher knife, blue coveralls, and the Michael Myers mask laying on the ground was not enough for Allison to sit up there and be like, oh yeah, Corey was on some bullshit, Granny. Like, really? Really, Allison? So, I can't believe you do this. What did you do to him? And I'm not a fan. She gets out. She pimps off. She's driving. She sees the radio tower on fire. And that's when she's like, wait a minute. Then, at that same moment, Hawkins, the worst shooter in police force history, calls and says, wait a minute. We just got a, call reporting a suicide from your grandmother. What's going on? And that's when Alice is like, maybe I need to double back. And now this whole time, Lori is kind of like in another room, hiding behind this wall, and she's kind of not crying, but she's just kind of very, very like remorseful at that moment. I can't believe this, can't believe this. And then she notices the door is open. Side door is open. Oh shit. So slowly she stands up, kind of hide. And that's when you see the hand reach in the frame and grab the mask. He's about to walk up and get the knife. Corey has like, you know that whole thing from Scream, like, this is when the killer who everybody thought was dead is not really dead, comes back for one final surprise thing. He grabs Michael by the ankle as Michael's reaching for the knife, and then he got him by the wrist with the knife. And Michael basically was like, dude, I'm the OG of this shit. Chill out. Grabbed him by the neck. Get out of here, man. And he kind of stares at him too, like, damn, I hate it had to be you, because, like, we could have been homies for a little bit, bro. We could have been the fabulous Freebirds. So, Lori, she hides in the pantry. But she somehow had enough time to plug in the microwave and turn it on without it being faulty. Like, it worked instantly, which they showed us before, earlier in the movie, that they kind of had that problem. So it works perfectly fine right? The first time she got something in there, she's hiding in the pantry, and the wooden piece of the string for the blinds is kind of tapping against the wooden blinds she has there in the pantry. Well, Michael's walking through the kitchen, you know, and microwave is on, kind of looking at it. He hears a tapping. She stops it, then he immediately looks over. So his hearing is that good. He starts walking that direction. Okay, he starts walking that direction. Right as he gets to the pantry door, splat, the food in the microwave like splatters all over the inside. That's when she comes out with the fire extinguisher, brings the knife down. Bow! She hits his hand. He drops the knife. You know, they get into that little fight. Throws her on the counter. He's trying to put her hand down the garbage disposal. Now, I thought this fight was going to be a lot longer. Like, this is, to me, the one gripe I can say I had. Now, of course, if Michael comes in full strength, like Halloween Kills, this Lori is going to die. Like, period. She just didn't seem like she could take much more of this, right? At this point. Whereas in 2018, she was on some Sarah Connor shit. Like, she was ready. You know what I mean? So I thought this fight was going to be longer. I can say I'm a little bit disappointed because I felt like the trailer showed us something completely different than what we actually got as far as the fight between them goes. So, uh, they're on the island. She stabs him in the chest. He sits right up like the Undertaker. You know, she takes another knife, stabs him in the hand. So the hand, I think, that's missing the fingers was pinned down. Then she stabs him in the other hand, which would be his right hand, and she takes a pan and starts like hammering that motherfucker in there. Pushes the refrigerator down on his left leg. And that's when she takes out a butcher knife and she shows him his reflection. She takes the mask off. And then what does she do? She starts monologuing. She starts monologuing about how like he's just a man in a Halloween mask who's about to stop breathing. And this is what I couldn't believe. She slit Michael Myers' throat. Me, I was a kid in a candy store. Because I have been waiting for the day that they show us a death of this motherfucker that was real, that was legit, and will not be retconned. Like, H2O had the perfect ending, but no, we need more money. Resurrection messed that up. H2O could have been it, perfect, sweet, done. She slit his throat. Y'all saw how he tore his hand away from the knife? Look, let me tell you, if that's full strength Michael Myers, look, you saw that when he had his foot on her throat. That was about to end right there. She kicked him in the knee and he turned around and ran around the island for whatever reason. He tore his hand from the knife, grabbed her by the throat. That was about to be the end if Allison hadn't came back in. But now Allison somehow is strong enough to just slam his arm down the counter and snap it like a twig, man. I mean, is Allison Superman? Supergirl? So Michael's bleeding now. Well, she slits his wrist now, so now he's bleeding. I mean, he about to be bone dry, man. Cops come running in. Hawkins, Michael, Laurie, he's dead. Not dead enough. And then they proceed to tie him to the roof of the car and drive him to the junkyard where you see like this compactor kind of thing, which they had kind of been highlighting. Every time they showed the junkyard, they showed something going into it. So you knew something had to happen there. Now, there's a whole procession, like a funeral procession, Sheriff Brackett. It's not how we do things. It is tonight. So, we ain't taking no chances. They went and they threw his ass in the compactor, man. And I know a lot of people saying Michael should have gotten back up right there. Him and Laurie fight. They both fall into the compactor and then Halloween ends, right? I guess you can't be mad at that if that happened, but they put him in there and they crush him to death. It's the end for me. That's all, folks, right? You know, her and Hawkins have a conversation. She's got the bruising and the blood all over her still, kind of. The residue of it. One thing I noticed, though, is that the mask was still on the coffee table. Why? So, at the end of the day, Halloween ends. It may not be for everybody, but to the people out there sitting up there talking about it's a 0 out of 10, it's a 1 out of 10, you are batshit crazy. This movie, I personally, I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. First time I saw it, I had it at like a 7.5 or a 7. After rewatching it multiple times, catching stuff I didn't see the first time. I know I didn't talk about the Bob kill that Michael recreated. Shout out to my guy I Like Scary. Again, I think when he said he met James Jude Courtney, he said his favorite kill since he's been Michael Myers was in this movie, and it probably was that. Unless there's more kills that we are going to see when the extended version comes out. I don't know. There was opportunities. They kind of dropped the ball. I think showing Michael this week is really the problem that a lot of people are having. But y'all sitting out there talking about it's a 1 out of 10. Like, y'all tripping, man. Is it the greatest Halloween? No. It's the OG and it's 2018 for me. Um, but and Halloween 2 then after that. But, it's not Curse of Michael Myers bad, and it's not 2018 good. You know what I mean? To be honest, 2018 probably should have been the end. You know, have ends be 2018, and then what happened at the end of 2018 be Halloween ends, and that's where they kill Michael, leave him in the burning house, but he dies for real, being burned alive. Like, you know what I mean? That probably would have made more sense. But also, what I think too is David Gordon Green just like 3 movies. That's a lot, man. Like, and I think really he just got like oversaturated with it. Like, just we got to keep doing this, and some of it, like these ideas look good when we wrote them down, but we didn't execute it the right way. And I really think I don't think y'all should just sit up there and be like, oh, cancel David Gordon Green because he's ass or whatever. I don't really think it's that. I really think that it's just difficult to make 3 movies. I mean, I know John Carpenter was drunk when he did it, but I mean, look at the direction Halloween 2 and the series was going to go had he not intended Michael and Laurie to both die in the explosion in the hospital at the end of Halloween 2 in 1981. You know what I mean? So it's a lot to come up with fresh ideas and keep people on their toes, especially when you got people like me and the homies, I Like Scary, Shaping the Shadows, Jay the Ripper, Everything's Terry, The Nightmare Corner, Mac Attack. Like, when you got people like us, like in horror, just constantly looking at every little detail, it's hard to surprise people and to keep stuff hidden. You know what I mean? One more shout out to my guy Brandon that I Like Scary. I mean, damn near everything that happened in Ends, this motherfucker predicted like to the letter. You know what I mean? So, but personally, I was sick of all the retconning to find a way to keep Michael Myers alive. Chucky died. Freddy Krueger, dead. Jason Voorhees, dead. The Candyman, dead. The infamous Pinhead, dead. You know what I mean? So I felt like, Michael needed to die. That's just my personal opinion. My personal opinion. You know. But Halloween Ends, man. I give it an 8 out of 10. To me, if I had to rank it, I would go 18, 78, 18, Ends, Kills. Kills is last on my list personally. Laurie in the hospital doesn't really do it for me. So, but this video is about to be 35 minutes, so I'm gonna get out your face, comment, tell me what you like, tell me what you didn't like, get active in the comment section. Let's talk about it, man. I'm gonna put a link to Brandon's channel in the description because that's the homie. So, all right then, until next time, more movie reviews coming. Hopefully more horror movie reviews coming. I'll get the editing thing down when I get my new computer and stuff. But I appreciate y'all tuning in. Love.